Hey YouTube, Joe here. Let me first start off by apologizing for the shaky camera. I'm using my tablet for this. There's no real other way I can do it and be able to give you guys the video. But this video is basically going to be an informational on my 29-gallon biocube and the sump that I've built for it. I'm just going to go over the different features, things that I've picked, and just how the reef's been going for me for a while. So I've had this 29-gallon biocube that I got really cheap, brand new, in the stand for about 6-7 months now, and it's been running really well. I can't say enough about how well all the corals are doing, minus a couple of them, but I don't think that's anything I did. It's just the way it turned out. And then down to the sump. So I built the sump for the 29-gallon biocube basically because I really like this tank. I have very limited space, with my furniture and things. So I don't have the space as of right now to go with a bigger tank. So I decided that, hey, I want to get a lot of corals in here. I want to be able to have fish and be able to enjoy the tank without worrying about, bioload and things like that so much. So I decided to build out of a 1/4-inch acrylic my sump refugium that you see in front of you. And it's again 1/4-inch acrylic, as you can see here, and it's a 3-chambered type, circulating refugium. So it basically comes in at the back, circulates all the way around to the front, and it goes back to the back again. And in here you can see that I built my own filter sock holder, and basically I just use a product called Weld-On 4 to weld everything together, and then sealed it with silicone. But so I'm going to go to the piping in a second. But I just got a 4-inch filter sock in there. I change them out every 3 or 4 days, as needed. And then also you can see here, which I'll be doing a review on, is the eShop's S120 protein skimmer, which has been working very, very well for me. You can see it's getting really dark, nice skim in there. Can't say enough about that. And it's a bit of a big protein skimmer. However, I want to be able to use this in pretty much any tank that I go up to. So that's pretty much the reason for the purchase on that. When I built this sump, I wanted to be able to fit a large protein skimmer and still have a reasonably large refugium for the tank. So with the sump, you can basically see how I stepped it down back there, and what that basically did was it allows the water to flow into the area where the protein skimmer's at, and it basically comes over here, flows into the refugium. And then back here you can see that I've got an angled piece of acrylic. I don't know if you can see that really well. But what that basically does is, as the water comes through here, I didn't want it to take the path of least resistance and just go over to the bubble trap and miss everything. So the water flows underneath and actually goes underneath that little piece of acrylic there before it actually hits the bubble trap. The reason I did that is I wanted the most surface area, contact time with the water and the chaeto and the other types of clerpa and things that I have growing in here. That way I get the most use out of it that I possibly could. Again, sorry for the shaky camera. And I've just got this lit with a little solar flare LED. It's a 10,000 and 6,500 Kelvin light that has been growing everything great, so I can't say enough about that. And in the back here, I've got an Aquamag 350-gallon per hour pump. And you can see I put my little max min mark there. I need to add some water. And people have complained about these pumps, saying they're really loud. I haven't had any issues with it. And I probably need to clean that out. But it just flows through the bubble trap back here. I've got some filter media, which is the right size cut size filter, and I basically just use just to catch any debris or anything coming from the refugium, like chaeto and things like that. So I mean, that's basically it for the sump. I hope you guys like it. I mean, I really put a lot of time and effort into it, and I'm just amazed at how well it turned out. It's 16.5 inches wide by 17 inches, in length, and then it's 12 inches tall. It's just basically everything's stepped down. I spent a lot of time, looking at how much water flow you wanted. If you've got this too low, a lot of times what will happen is you'll notice that the depending upon how you have it set up in your water flow, you'll get a lot of turbulence. I didn't want a really turbulent refugium. It's getting just the right amount of water flow. With the piping, as you can see in the back here, I went with all just basically plastic piping. This is just a basic flex hose that I've used, and a piece of styrofoam is there just to keep it from moving, basically. And then I'm just using a 5/8 inch hose with a little gate valve that I've got pretty much fully open. And the reason I did that versus doing hard plumbing is I just didn't want to deal with the process of doing that, and I wanted it to be pretty cheap and straightforward. And to be honest with you, I'm really glad I did it this way. It seems to work really well. The sump is really quiet, which is something I really like, and that eShop's, or S-Shop's, however you want to say it, protein skimmer is really great. It's been working outstanding. So coming up to the tank here, sorry my phone went off. Coming up to the tank here, I've just basically got a V-split line lock for the pump, for the outlet. And I've got a 240 gallon per hour Core Life, I think it's the brand, I don't know, it was given to me by a friend, pump, which has recently lost some of its power. I'm planning on going to a pump that is actually a wave maker. I haven't decided which one I'm going to go to. In the tank, I've pretty much got I've got torch coral, a couple different frog spawns, couple hammer corals, pulsing xenia, and some other just random ones. I got some anemones in there. I got a red-footed sand anemone and 2 different types of rock anemone. You can see I've got a yellow tang, I've got a maroon clown. I've also got a Niger trigger, which hasn't come out. And I have this banded coral shrimp, which I got him pretty small. It's not something I would recommend. While you might get away with him for a while, he actually ate my coral beauty, and he's been really aggressively going after my fish. And anytime I feed the corals, he tries to go around, or she actually rather, tries to go around and rip the corals apart trying to get them. So when I catch her little butt, she's definitely coming out of the tank. That thing has been nothing but a pain for me. Been really aggressive, especially towards my clown, as you can see there, which the clown can handle its own. I'm hoping maybe the Niger trigger kicks its butt. Coming up to the top of the stand here, I've got the original lighting in here, which I do plan on going to a different lighting system. I'm looking at the Orbit LED Pro model with the ramp timer. But just coming up to the tank here, as you can see, I cut the back out for the PF300 eShops overflow. And a lot of people are concerned about cutting that center support out. Well, it's worked absolutely fine for me. And then the 5/8 hose basically just comes up to the original outlet at a very, you don't want to make it a super hard bend, so just take your time with that if you're going to do it. To an elbow that you can see, it's actually, let me see if I can get over here. You can see it's actually stepped down. So it's a 60-degree elbow I just got from Home Depot. It's just what worked. And I mean, the tank looks great. Everything's running really well. And this video basically is just the start of the videos that I'm going to do for my reef. I'm going to be doing a lot of informational videos, reviews, on different items that I'm using, what I think about them, as well as informational on the corals and the different products that I've used to get the coral and algae that I've got, and the different successes that I've had, as well as the failures, guys. I'm going to tell you everything. So just so you know, you can definitely put a nice size sump and a 29-gallon biocube. There is the NanoCube Refugium, which I think is a well-built product, and it's got a great idea behind it. The only problem I see with it is in this stand, it's still relatively small, and you're not getting enough water volume, in my opinion, especially with the Refugium, to actually see a huge benefit from it. I'm not saying it's not going to work and be beneficial. I just wanted something bigger, so that's the reason I went the route that I went. It's not for the faint of heart. Definitely wasn't a super easy process, and there's very little to no room for error with that, especially on something that is made of acrylic. And for those of you that think that maybe I just put this together with silicone and that it's just going to fail, it's been running for a little over 2 months now with this sump, and I actually used a product called Weldon 4, which is so strong that I actually stood on the on the sump after I built it, a day after I let everything dry, and not jumped up and down, but made my weight go up and down and fluctuate, and then the thing creaked a little bit, but it held up, and it's been sealed really well, and it's been holding up great. So I really hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you enjoy my reef. I'm going to give you another little quick view here of everything that I've got. I hope you enjoy it, and when I get those LEDs, I'll be doing a review on that. Keep an eye out for my reviews on my protein skimmer, and I'll just keep updates basically on what's been going on with the tank, and if I make any mistakes, I'll definitely keep you guys posted on that, so hopefully you can help avoid that. So I hope this has been a good informational video, and for those of you thinking about getting a 29-gallon biocube, this is what you can do with it. While I don't care for my rock arrangement, there are some people out there that's tanks look 10 times better than mine. I still feel that mine looks pretty good. So feel free to comment, like, and please subscribe so you guys can see the rest of my videos if you're interested. This has been a basic overview of my 29-gallon biocube. This is Joe, and I'm out. Have a good day, guys. Later.